So I think that accounting bodies around the world can play a significant role in supporting the recommendations of the Task Force on Climate-Related Financial Disclosures. I think it's an important area. It's an emerging area. Certainly climate change is seen as likely one of the most significant risks that have the potential to affect companies around the world, economies, and it's got the potential for high impact and fundamentally will impact organizations. So there's a need for them to disclose what those risks are. In the process, they need to assess what those risks are and then help their shareholders and other stakeholders understand what they're doing potentially to manage those risks. The recommendations are quite comprehensive and would be very useful for organizations to implement. And I think accounting bodies can play a fundamental role because our members, the members of those accounting bodies, are holding a variety of roles, from very senior CFO type roles in organizations to management, and fundamentally many of our members are responsible for disclosure, putting disclosure reports together, and so we can play a really important role. And I think if the accounting bodies can work together and help to support it, I think it's that much more powerful. Well, it's interesting because we've done our own research in Canada related to climate-related disclosure, and there isn't a lot of it, even though it is actually a fundamental requirement of the regulations. The regulations in Canada require disclosure of climate-related risks. That said, surprisingly, a lot of companies are still not doing it. I'm not sure that all companies understand fully what the impacts might be. Maybe they're not doing the assessment. So the recommendations are very timely. When we look around, the reality is the climate is changing. There's severe weather events that are causing challenges for society in general, but certainly for organizations, for corporations. And so it's a really timely issue. And of course, Mark Carney has indicated its importance in terms of financial stability, and in that sense, it's pretty important that organizations are disclosing whether or not they've assessed the risks, and if they have assessed the risk, what the potential impacts are. And so it's a very important time for accountants who can play a big role in that. I do believe that the emerging areas for accountants are getting into far beyond the traditional financial roles. When you look at natural capital, look at social capital, you look at the emergence of integrated reporting around the world and the opportunities that present for accountants. Certainly that goes beyond the traditional financial statements. And so when you look at climate change and you look at climate-related risks, that's another important emerging issue that accountants can play a substantial role in. Well, I actually believe that accountants can play a substantial role in that. I think there's no one probably more appropriately positioned, better positioned in an organization than the accountant to get a bird's eye view of how the organization operates and to be able to see how things tie together and to actually drive that integrated thinking throughout the organization. I mean, organizations ultimately have various elements that they have to operate, but accountants can play an important role in bringing the various stakeholders together, look at things in a more integrated way that ultimately will lead to integrated thinking, integrated management, and then ultimately integrated reporting. Delighted to be at this event tonight, and I think sustainability, the whole concept of sustainability is a broad issue. But accountants, I think, are going to be playing an increasingly important role in all of this. I think we already are to a large extent around the world, but I think the opportunities are even more significant ahead. I think looking at ways that accountants can drive strategy, manage risk for organizations, and really help to drive performance in a more broader context than, a much broader context than just bottom line. In 5 years' time, I'd like to believe that accountants have begun to fully embrace the concept that we are responsible for far more than just the financial elements of an organization. That in fact we can play a significant role in helping organizations better manage their full range of capitals, integrating that into their full successful business management processes, and ultimately to help the organization tell the story of how they are driving value, generating value, and ultimately leading to success for the organization for a broad range of stakeholders.